When you been a Kurapong, you not been tell me morning. Now because your money done, you come with conniving morning. When you had your pocket full, you not been tell me morning. Now because your money done, you hustle for tell me morning. Morning, neighbor, morning. Morning, neighbor, morning. Morning, neighbor, morning. I don't want your conniving morning. Neighbor, neighbor, Joe come. Neighbor, neighbor, Joe come. Neighbor, neighbor, Joe come. This all the money that me work for. A 2 pound a note and a gilla piece. A 2 pound a note and a gilla piece. A 2 pound a note and a gilla piece. This all the money that me work for. Morning, neighbor, morning. Morning, neighbor, morning. Morning, neighbor, morning. I don't want your conniving morning. Oh, Joseph, pour me. Oh, Joseph, pour me. Oh, Joseph, pour me. What we could do with a gilda piece? 1 bunch green plantain, 1 string quacquari, 1 Jill black pepper. All you could do with a gilda piece. Morning, neighbor, morning. Morning, neighbor, morning. Morning, neighbor, morning. I don't want your conniving morning. When you been a Kurapong, and I've been tell me morning. Now because your money done, you come with conniving morning. When you had your pocket full, you now been tell me morning. Now because your money done, you hustle for tell me morning. Morning, neighbor, morning. Morning, neighbor, morning. Morning, neighbor, morning. I don't want your
This is Quincy Anderson. You know I love my country. There's no other country better than mine. Welcome to Guyana, land of 6 races, 6 different faces, and we all live in love. Guyana is a beautiful country, no other can compare. Got everything right here, so no other can compare. Guyana is made up of so many natural resources. We don't need no forces, cause we got enough resources. Let's talk about bauxite, gold, diamond, and rice. We got it right here. Guyana ain't going nowhere. We got enough oil too. One Guyana, I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. One Guyana, I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. Hey, hey, Guyana is nice, Guyana is fun, Guyana is clean, Guyana is green, Guyana got oil, Guyana got gold, Guyana got young and Guyana got old. I ain't talking no more. Guyana got things, we growing wings and developing things. The government real and that's a big deal. I'm singing from my heart, Guyana. I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. One Guyana. I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. Welcome to Guyana, land of 6 races, 6 different faces, and we all live in love. Guyana is a beautiful country, no other can compare. Got everything right here, so no other can compare. Guyana is made up of so many natural resources. We don't need no forces, cause we got enough resources. Let's talk about bauxite, gold, diamond, and rice. We got it right here. Guyana ain't going nowhere. We got enough oil too. One Guyana, I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. One Guyana, I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I... This is Quincy.
Good morning, and welcome down to Livewire. It is the 21st of August, 2024. Welcome to another episode. I hope everybody had a restful night and they're ready and raring to go for today, Wednesday, right in the middle of the week, almost at the end of the week. How many people saw the press conference yesterday? Right. Um, Martin again. Right. How many people saw that press conference yesterday? Okay, I don't know what to say about these people. When you're lacking ideas and actual things to talk about, eh? Nevertheless, morning to all the persons joining us across the 10 administrative regions. Morning to all the persons joining us on the across the diaspora. Morning to the persons in the chat already. Welcome to the program. So, morning to Rahima Murali, Joseph Satar, Ganesh Bharat, Balwant Danraj, Rajendra Singh, Alan Khan, Eunice, and Rita. Good morning to both of you. Derek Drupal, Salome, Chris, morning. Dial Sukram, morning to you, brother. Dishan Abrams, morning to you. Vishnu Narain, Omar Sharif, Jonah Bijan, Jamila Kayum, Jasoda Budram. Pam, morning to you and Trevor, Bibi Kali Charan, Leslie Mongol. Karen Carter, on vacation, living her best life. Morning to you. I hope you got my progs set up for when you're coming back. Do for do is not hope you. All right. Jean Cornelius, morning to you. And Hector, morning to you. Fong Roger, Sherry Ramdai, Asif Hamad, morning to you. Ronald Jones, big up yourself, dear Dan Suku. Rakesh, morning. Sherwin Siram, Philip Diabru, Philip Graves, Andy. Soma Bipat, thanks for the message. I was running a little late this morning. Nirmala Allen joining us from Barbados. Good morning. Sharika, sorry. Bagwandin, morning to you. Clifford Bangru, morning. Chitra Sokraj, Ian Bipat, Rafi Singh, Ronald Martindale, Sarah Mosley. Good morning to you. Richard Stanislas, Mohammed Isaf, morning to you. Taras O'Brien, Savita Sokraj, Michael, Leslie Mongol, morning to you. Henry Jagdio, good morning to you. Prembishal Dan Beer. I hope I do that right. Sally Jones, morning to you. Gloria Manwar, good morning to you. Wilbert Stevenson, morning, 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 everybody. So, a couple of things I want us to discuss this morning. Uh, First of all, like I was asking, Paula Spencer, welcome back. You've been gone for a while. Gayatri, morning to you. So, Aubrey Norton again. Aubrey Norton again. Sometimes I don't even know how to like. Right? I don't even know. Listen, people, the PPP government has a well documented history of engaging in inclusive development planning, which involves consultation with various stakeholders across the political and social spectrum, right? And this is evident in the government's efforts to engage um, with indigenous communities, private sector stakeholders, and even opposition uh, parties on key national issues, right? The government's commitment to joint efforts also reflected in it. It's also reflected in initiatives such as the low carbon development strategy, which includes wide-ranging consultations and collaborations and social across political and social lines. Right. So for me, Aubrey Norton's statement sometimes just blow past me. Where he getting this from? wi- the government, in most of its actions, or I should say all of its actions, have been engaging with personnel, and exp- more so in cases where it was not done before. The amount of public consultations that are done before these policies make it all the way to Parliament and being passed, I think Arby Norton is being very disingenuous in terms of representing how the government operates. So the claim that the PPPC has an inborn obsession with total political control is a politically charged statement without concrete evidence to back it up. In reality, the government has repeatedly demonstrated a willingness to work with various groups, including the opposition, on matters of national interest. For instance, the PPP's approach to the management of the COVID-19 pandemic and the national budget has included inputs from multiple sectors of society, demonstrating a commitment to consensus building. The accusation of power obsession could be seen as a tactic to deflect from the opposition's own challenges in fostering unity and presenting coherent alternatives to the government's policies. And even just being coherent in general, not even alternative to the government policies, just in generally being coherent is hard for them. In general. Now, contrary to Norton's claims, joint economic development initiatives are indeed taking place. The government's engagement with international organizations, private sector entities, and community groups to drive economic growth shows the consensus and collaboration are not only possible but are actively being pursued. The ongoing investment in infrastructure, healthcare, and education are the result of collaborative planning efforts that involve input from a wide range of stakeholders, including those outside of the government. Now, while Norton acknowledges cooperation in defense of Guyana's territorial integrity, it is important to highlight that such consensus is a result of the government's inclusive approach to critical national issues. This sets a precedent that consensus on economic development can also be achieved if there is genuine commitment from all political actors, mostly the opposition. So the claim that the PPP government is too obsessed with power to engage in economic planning is largely unsubstantiated. The PPP's track record in government shows a commitment to inclusive development, and the claim appears to be more of a political maneuver rather than a reflection on reality, right? And that is what we're going to be getting going into the new, well, next year, into elections time and that kind of thing. That's what we're going to be getting. Political maneuvering. Political maneuvering. Now, that aside, um, the PNC also yesterday released a statement on the National Tushao Council. Let me see, where is that? Where is that? Right? And it's funny, these people were so terrible to indigenous people in this country. For them to now come and pretend that they're so interested in their development and their progress. Again, disingenuous. Aubrey Norton and team has, well, Aubrey Norton wasn't president, but the group he represented showed their disdain for indigenous people on many fronts. So this coming out of the PNC, I find it laughable at best. Right? Now, to be clear, the PPPC government has consistently demonstrated its commitment to the genuine development of Indigenous communities through various initiatives. President Irfan Ali's engagement with the NTC is a part of an ongoing dialogue that ensures Indigenous voices are heard and their needs are addressed at the highest level of government. Now, the government programs such as the Amerindian Land Titling Project and the investment in healthcare, education, and infrastructure in Indigenous communities highlights its dedication to improving the quality of life of the Indigenous people across Guyana. This was something that was absent 2015 to 2020. Now, if you remember, the Indigenous people were asking for too much, asking to benefit from oil revenues and asking for land titling was too much for them to ask for under a coalition government. And these are some of the things that we need to remember, right? So, contrary to the claims of domination, the PNC claiming that the president dominated the opening ceremony, contrary to the claims of domination, the PPP government respects the autonomy of Indigenous communities. The government's approach is rooted in consultation and collaboration, ensuring that decisions affecting Indigenous communities are made with their full participation and consent. This approach is evident by the government's commitment to free, prior, and informed consent in all matters related to Indigenous lands and Indigenous resources. Now, the government is actively addressing environmental challenges in Region 9 because the press release spoke specifically to Region 9. Let me open it big so you could see. Right? So let me give you the bottom of the press release here. This is what it says. In the case of Region 9, the government has failed to identify measures to deal with the twin problems of drought and flooding. We in the PNCR APNU are committed to the continued development of reservoirs to save water during the rainy season and to develop a proper program of drainage and irrigation to help the farmers and people of Region 9. Our people-centered development strategy will focus on the consultation with Indigenous communities with the aim of ensuring the development of sustainable Indigenous communities. Now, again, this is just like the APNU, PNCR, AFC, pontificating about stuff, never really telling you what the plan is. You understand me? The development of reservoirs, okay. Yeah, where you putting it? How you running all the water that coming in the savannah tail? You understand me? That's what you get. They don't ever tell you in detail how they're fixing the problem. They give you a broad-based answer. Broad, you know, brushing with a broad stroke. So covering a set of things, but you're really getting nothing done. You're not really getting anything done. No, the government is actively addressing the environmental challenges in Region 9, including the drought and the flood. Through partnerships with local communities and international organizations, the government is working on sustainable solutions as the construction of the very thing they're talking about, reservoirs, to improve drainage and irrigation systems. These efforts are a part of a broader strategy to mitigate the impacts of climate change and ensure food and water security for the region's residents. Now, the PVPC's people-centered development strategy includes comprehensive consultation with Indigenous communities to ensure that the needs and aspirations are fully integrated into the national development plans. Now, the government's focus on inclusive development contrasts with the opposition's record, which has been criticized for neglecting Indigenous concerns during its time in power. The mere, is it 7? Oh, 7 or 14? Let me use the lesser number, 7. So between yesterday and the day before, 7 villages got their titles, their titles to the village. That is more than all the villages got under an entire term of the APNU AFC president. administration, right? 7 villages. When the president spoke, not yesterday, it would have been Monday. On Monday, 7 villages received their titles in their hand. The Tushaws collected the village title. So they now have documents to show that this land is their land. That 7 is more than the 5 years of the AP and UAFC administration in terms of land titling and distribution to indigenous communities. And they trying to talk about how governments should treat indigenous people. You understand? They're trying to talk about how the government should treat indigenous people. Now, the government's focus on, the PNCR, AP, and news criticism must be viewed in light of their own track record during their time in government, where indigenous communities often felt marginalized and underrepresented. The PPPC has a proven history of empowering indigenous communities through land titling, cultural preservation, and economic development initiatives. Now, that aside, I want you all to take a look at this here. So I was surfing on Facebook and I came over to the region 10 chairman, his page, right? And he's talking here about the call center in Linden that the APNU closed down. So listen to this. Reading from the Ron Adams page. Back in 2019, the coalition government invested $119 million to refurbish the call center at Caracara. Fast forward to 2022. Listen to what the head of Go Invest said back in 2002 on the call center. He wants this project to succeed. We want this project to succeed. We welcome investors, but it cannot be at the expense of our young people. Guess how much they were paying the youths at the call center? Guess how much people currently work at this place? Mind you, he presenting information to people as the chairman of the region and telling you guess. Instead, he called the amount since he knows it so well. The coalition government will invest heavily in ICT and ensure that our people enjoy a livable wage. Now, listen to something, people. Anybody here remember the date of the no confidence motion? The date that Charindad says, the night Charindad said yes, yes, yes? Anybody who remembers the date, just put it in the comments there for me, please. I just want to show y'all how PNC persons operate and how they try to mislead the general public, more so Lindeners. Anybody, just put the date. Thank you. Right? So we're seeing the date here of the no confidence motion, December 21st, 2018. This wretch, Deron Adams, got the testicular fortitude to actually bring this up. Now, instead of planning elections like they were supposed to be doing, right? He's talking about the coalition government operating in illegality. So instead of planning elections in 2019, that is when they realized they need to open back a call center. So this is the post he made. Photos of the call center, right? This is no. I don't know when this is, when those photos were taken. You understand? Photos of the people inside the call center. Then he shows this article, right? So look at the date. Tenders received for estimated $190 million in works at Caracara, September 18th, 2019. So instead of planning elections like they were supposed to be doing, this is when they remembered the people of Linden. After the no confidence motion. after the no confidence motion. You understand? This is when they remember the people of Linden and the fact that they needed a call center to employ people there. And Deron Adams has the balls to put this on social media as something good. Why y'all didn't do this since 2016? Invest in the call center and make sure it's working good and the people getting a high salary and all kind of thing and they're comfortable. Why y'all wait until you are booted out of office or the booting process would have commenced to get you out of government? By legal means, because next thing you know, you're going to hear the illegally out of government. So they didn't do nothing in Linden prior no confidence motion. They remember Lindeners. They know that Lindeners needed jobs. They know that Lindeners needed good salary. They know that the Linden communities needed roads and stuff. Look. This guy, Deron Adams. Look at this guy. Look what he can post here. Look at this. The coalition delivered on asphalt plant to construct roads countrywide. Yet them boys can't get it right. Deron, which roads y'all build with this asphalt plant? Okay, let me say, okay, y'all procure this asphalt plant. When it come with y'all and the administration, whether y'all set it up or not, whether whoever set it up, whichever administration set it up, y'all get this asphalt plant. How many roads were done under the APNU AFC administration that this asphalt plant produced? You understand where I'm coming from, people? You are showing us something that you have not levied to better the life of Lindeners, Georgetown people, Guyanese in general. As a chairman of Linden, you know this asphalt plant was it. How many asphaltic surfaces were done in the municipality of Region 10? They're going to carry it to Town Hall and May and thing. As the RDC chairman, how many asphaltic surfaces was done through this asphalt plant? This guy is so... Oh man, I don't know what to say about Deron Adams. All the projects, and that's the thing, all the projects that they couldn't do. Look, he talking about Granger buses. The mere fact that the government is touching 200,000+ children in public and private schools that are actually benefiting. Those buses were trash. Half of them didn't used to work properly, and the other half only used to pick up from certain communities. They used to pass little Indian children on the road. I've heard many stories like that. They used to pass little Indian children on the road. Certain communities, the bus ain't even stopping at all. It rolling. It rolling. Freak them children, the bus rolling. You understand? That's how it was. And this guy, unaccomplished Deron Adams, talking about roads from Linden to Borbies River and things. When last it do, Deron Adams? Pre-2020, when last it do? That's what I want you to post. Show us the roads that were done under the coalition. You understand? Finally, this waste had a long missive. If you see it, posted on August 8th. AP and UAFC track record in just 5 years without oil. Look, ding. The Workers Club at Kokwani was rehabilitated. What the Workers Club? Ensuring that local governments elections were held. There's them accomplishments. You understand? Under the APNU, VAT was reduced from 16 to 14%. 16 to 14%. VAT was introduced by the PPP installed government. Now here, imagine they reduce VAT from 16 to 14% and then put taxes on 200 plus items. Raise the licensing fees at GRA. You understand me? Raise the licensing fees at GRA and then talking about they drop VAT. Commence the construction of the Linden Technical Institute dormitory to accommodate students from Rockstone. You hear? The PPP stymied the work. You in government. Linden is known as a PNC stronghold. How in heavens the PPP stymied the work, your work in Linden? You in government, you got the majority in parliament. What nonsense you telling people? Under the AAP and UFC, over 20 ICT hubs were established in Region 10. Really? Which part? With the working? Under the AAP and UFC, old age pension was increased to 20,500. But from how much? How much was it before? How much in the 5 years was it increased from? That's the kind of craziness Deron Adams has come. And generally, PNC then give you a bunch of vague, broad statements. Say you're not too sure on what really happened, but you feel like something happened. Like what going on? I ain't too sure. But Deron here, I want to share something with you, right? I do want to share something with you, and not only the administration that you are loyal to, they don't have accomplishments only, right? So the PPP, in terms of economic growth and infrastructure development, has effectively harnessed the revenues from the oil sector to fund major infrastructural projects and social programs across the country, including in Region 10, Deron Adams, right? Now, these initiatives are a part of a long-term strategy to ensure sustainable development and economic growth in all regions, especially your region, Deron Adams, because we can't expect growth with the nonsense that y'all did there in the time that you had the executive power. Now, while the APNU AFC claims to have started several projects, the PPPC government has continued and expanded these efforts. Projects such as the new Mackenzie-Wisma Bridge, the Linden-Mabura Road, the Linden to Mabura Hill Road, the development of the Suzdijk-Linden Highway, are the resurfacing, I should say, of the Suzdijk-Linden Highway. They're progressing under the PPP's oversight, ensuring they meet international standards and address safety concerns. If we're looking at improved access to healthcare, the PPPC has significantly increased investment in healthcare across all regions, including Region 10, Deron Adams. The government has focused on improving the availability of medical supplies, upgrading healthcare centers, and ensuring that healthcare workers are adequately supported, which directly counters the claim of Deron Adams. Now, the PPPC government has expanded social programs to ensure that all citizens, including those in Region 10, Deron Adams, have access to vital services. Initiatives like increased old age pension, COVID-19 relief, public assistance programs have been implemented to alleviate the economic burdens on most vulnerable populations. What about education? Deron Adams' administration built no new schools in Linden. Well, no new high schools in Linden. Or primary schools, a nursery school, I think. So the PPP government has prioritized education by increasing the number of scholarships, improving school infrastructure, and ensuring that more schools across the country are equipped with the necessary resources, including internet connectivity. Contrary to the claims by the APNU, AFC, the PVP has launched multiple youth employment and training programs. The Gold Scholarship Program, launched by the PVPC, provides thousands of young people with opportunity to pursue higher education and vocational training, helping to secure better job prospects. Now, the PVPC government has maintained a balanced approach to regional development, ensuring that all regions, including Region 10, Dear Adams, benefits from national development initiatives. The government's policies aim to reduce disparities between the regions by investing in infrastructure, education, healthcare, and social services across the board. Now, let's address neglect. The PVP has worked to address areas that were previously neglected, ensuring that essential services and infrastructure are available to all citizens, regardless of their geographical location or a political affiliation. So, unlike the AP and UAFC that attacked the perceived PVP sugar workers in Region 6 and Region 5 by closing down their estates and putting thousands of people on the breadline, the PVP sees a area that is normally supportive of the PNC still as areas that need development. So you're seeing roads in Linden. You're seeing roads in New Amsterdam. You're seeing part-time jobs in these areas to create employment for those young people who might not be as experienced as others or might not have all those big qualifications or just floating around right now waiting on the dream job to come, right? So instead of walking around in the hot sun in Linden, they're actually going to someplace, getting something done, gaining some work experience, getting some money to put back into the economy in Linden, but you don't see that kind of forward thinking and foresight from persons in the PNC, right? So, Diron, I wanted to make you aware of some of these things that the government is doing because you seem to be in Linden in your own world. Now, the PPPC has introduced reforms to enhance transparency, efficiency, and accountability in public service delivery. These efforts are aimed at building a more robust and responsive public service that meets the needs of all citizens, including those in Region 10. They also put in anti-corruption measures as well. The government has also been taking steps to combat corruption and ensure that public funds are used effectively for the benefits of all citizens. This stance is contrast to the claims of cronyism and favoritism levied by the opposition. Now, could you imagine that people like them in the AFC, the PNC, APNU, talking about cronyism and favoritism? Wasn't it cronyism and favoritism that caused Christopher Jones to get the money that end up the government had to take back? That he bought the barber chairs and the AC and all them thing with? It's not favoritism and cronyism that Jordan, twin brother, or whoever it is, open pig farm up in Linden there. That's not favoritism and cronyism. They only know it when they're talking about other people, but it's most prevalent amongst them. Most prevalent amongst them. The fact that Ubraj get 2 government subsidized house lot, that's not favoritism and cronyism. Oh man, look, these people are trouble. These people are trouble. I can't believe I actually forget to tell y'all. Yeah, when the General Secretary said WPA rate all them geriatric homes to get the new candidates. Look, these people is trouble. These people is trouble. Trouble. Right? Anyway, guys, listen, we ended early this morning. I have to go to Mocha to get some information for you guys for the show tomorrow. So make sure you guys tune in. Um, that's going to be very interesting. Some serious revelations there. And I'm gonna show y'all again how some people made their life off of the backs of the same people that they're claiming that they're there to protect and they're looking out for. You understand? I will show y'all. Also, you will see that, oh gosh, how to put this? The claim that they love Guyanese so much. They love Guyanese so much. They're not even employing Guyanese, but I want to let the cat out of the bag too much. You understand me? I want to let the cat out of the bag too much. But look forward to tomorrow's episode because we got a lot to discuss. We have a lot to discuss. And Hector, the tongue week money. Y'all remember when Lennox Gaspar was here on the show? We played a voice note. That voice note and Hector was a PNC counselor talking about these people. Nobody in call here, buddy. What's wrong with you? Oh no, this phone off. Oh jeez. Sorry if y'all were calling the I don't like having too many devices. You gotta remember to charge everything. So the number scrolling and the phone off. Anyway. Yeah, so imagine their own counselor talking about how they gone with all the tongue week money and they harassing Lennox Gaspar up there. Man, here, we can talk tomorrow, people. Rolling calling. Don't worry with Rolling calling, pardon. Rolling for a sense this. Anyway, guys, I can see you here tomorrow. Make sure you tune in. We're gonna start on time. Sorry about the late start this morning and the early go away. By the way, before I go, don't forget Grill Masters if you're in Region 6, you're looking for some great to eat, and also Modern Architectures if y'all building real estate services, design and stuff like that. Right? Yeah, that's it for me. Guys, see you tomorrow. Continue to be good Guyanese, and as I usually say before I go, the background music is lower. It's all about peace, it's all about love, it's all about one Guyana.